Alright, there's a million videos on this topic, and I'm surprised you found mine. I almost didn't make one, but I still get requests sometimes, and I don't know which video to send other people, so I figured just make my own. Also, let me just apologize for the quality of the video this time. I'm gonna show screenshots when it's appropriate, but just so you know, this is an actual upgrade of a friend's actual computer. So I just thought I'd kind of over the shoulder this one, show you guys how it's done. But don't worry, even though it's kind of bad quality, I will show screenshots and zoom in when necessary. So it's been a while since Microsoft has officially end-of-lifed Windows 7, which means there's no more security updates. I wouldn't be using Windows 7 personally in the wild. It just doesn't seem safe. But there are a lot of people out there that still do and don't even know that they could at least upgrade to Windows 10 for free. So here's how you do it. For the sake of ease, I'm going to use the browser that most of you probably have. I'm going to open up Google Chrome and I'm going to search for Windows 10 Media Creation Tool right here on Google. You'll get a ton of results, but the one you're looking for should be at the top, and it should say Disk Image ISO File. This is the Windows 10 installer. You'll actually see the URL right above the link where it actually says Microsoft.com. From Google, you're taken to the download page, and it's very sparse and simple and straightforward. There's a big blue Download Tool Now button. You can click on that so that it will automatically launch the tool as soon as it's finished downloading. Once it starts to load, you'll be greeted with a Getting a Few Things Ready screen. Immediately after that are the terms and conditions that you pretty much have to accept to go forward, so we click Accept. Then you'll see Getting a Few Things Ready again for some reason, and then it'll ask, what do you want to do? In this case, it's very simple. Upgrade this PC. You don't have to know anything about it. You don't have to know if it's 64-bit, 32-bit. You don't need to know if it's Windows 7 Professional or Windows 7 Home. Doesn't matter. Just choose Upgrade this PC now and click Next. So this next step is the one that could take a little while. This really depends just on your internet connection. I've had it where it can take a few hours. My connection is very fast. I have gigabit internet and it only takes a few minutes in my case. If you have very slow rural internet, unfortunately, it could take overnight. It's just one of those things. It's hard to say. All you can rely on is the progress bar. It doesn't really tell you how fast it's going or even if it's stalled out, unfortunately. But usually this percentage is pretty consistent. It just kind of ticks away and gets up to 100%. Once it does that, you'll see Creating Windows 10 Media. Depending on the speed of your computer, this can take a little bit of time, but it usually only takes a few minutes at most. And briefly, you might even see Setup as cleaning up before it closes. This is literally Windows just cleaning up the temporary files. Then the process seems to kind of start over. You'll see checking your PC, getting updates, and even getting a few things ready again. Once more, now that everything's downloaded, you're going to see applicable notes and license terms. It's the normal boilerplate stuff that we're all used to, so we go ahead and click Accept. Now this next step can take a little more time. It says that it's getting updates or checking for updates. This will kind of stall out at a few different percentage points. It's not abnormal. Just let it do its thing. Or if you really want to hurry it along and maybe download the updates later, you could technically disconnect from the internet, pull your Ethernet cable or turn off your Wi-Fi, and you could skip this step technically, but why bother? You're going to need these updates sooner or later. Now, once you're through that step, what's important is you'll see what needs your attention. This could be one or more apps, or maybe zero, maybe you won't get this at all, but these are programs that are not compatible with Windows 10, just flat out. And it tells you that you need to confirm that it's okay to uninstall these before you proceed. Now, what's interesting about Windows 10 is there are other programs that it will basically decide are also not compatible later. And they'll sort of get uninstalled automatically. It's not generally anything to worry about. As you'll see at the end of the video, some of the stuff that gets uninstalled is going to be the bloatware that Lenovo pre-installed on this computer. Or in this case, what needs our attention is Microsoft Security Essentials, because Security Essentials is replaced by Windows Defender in Windows 10. But it's okay in this case because it's actually replacing it with something a little more modern and essentially the same. Now, I want to pause right here because I need to mention, I've worked on multiple computers. I mean, I've done this upgrade for probably 100 computers, literally. At work, at home, for friends, everywhere else. The one thing that I have consistently ran into the most that causes these updates to fail is AVG antivirus. Or maybe Avira or a few others. If you have a third-party antivirus, particularly one of the free ones, personally, I recommend uninstalling it before you go any further. This is a good opportunity to take the moment, go to your Add Remove Programs section, and uninstall it if you have it. If you like it and want to run it in Windows 10, I say go download the latest version and get up and running as soon as you're back into Windows 10. I'm not telling you not to run AVG, but I will say that it does cause a lot of problems during the upgrade process for one reason or another. So my personal recommendation is if you run AVG in particular, go to your add remove programs right now and just uninstall it completely. Anything that says AVG, get it out of there for now, and feel free to reinstall it when you're up to Windows 10. But just during the upgrade process, it might cause a lot of headaches, so it's better safe than sorry. So anyway, once we've confirmed these items, we're greeted with a ready to install screen. It shows that you're going to install Windows 10 and that you're going to keep your personal files. From here, you could technically change a few settings as far as maybe wiping the computer clean and starting fresh. I wouldn't mess with that at this point. I think it's easier to do a system reset later or just to do a fresh install off of clean media if you were going to go that far. So at this point, I think it's recommended that you just go with the upgrade. So you just click on install in the lower right. So the first part of the install takes you to this installing Windows 10 screen where the progress circle is in the upper left. It's a small percentage. This screen can take a few minutes, but it's generally relatively quick. This is sort of unpacking and getting ready to install everything. Then the machine will automatically reboot and will take us to the next screen where the progress bar is more dead center of the screen. Now where it says don't turn off your PC, this will take a while. My recommendation from there is probably go take a nap or go to bed and let it sit overnight. Depending on the speed of your PC, of course, this can take anywhere from half an hour to 2 to 3 hours. It will also reboot several times during this process. It says so at the bottom of the screen and it's not joking. It will restart probably at least 3 times. You'll notice somewhere around 24% it'll look like it's kind of hung up, but as long as those circle dots are still going, I would let it go. You'll notice the same thing around 46% or so, and then it'll kind of jump further up at 64, 76, 90. It just sort of starts to jump after that. Getting that first 50% out of the way is really the battle. I've had a few machines freeze at different percentage points and generate different errors, but generally once you're beyond about 65% or so, you're in good shape. You've got nothing left to worry about, and hopefully it'll just kind of finish the install. Now, after that last reboot, after it gets to 100%, you're going to see the startup screen change a little bit, and it'll look like it's automatically logging in as whoever the username is on that machine when you did the upgrade. It may ask for a password if you have a password set up at this point for the initial login. You're going to see the welcome screen. That will take a little longer than you're used to probably. And then at the first time it goes through, it'll go through we've got some updates for your PC. It's sort of the same screen you'll get familiar with that shows up after you install a large Windows update. So this part of the process will also just sort of a black screen or a dark screen that fades through a few colors. It'll say that this may take several minutes, and in my case it did take about 2 to 3 minutes. Eventually I got to a choose your privacy settings for your device screen. Personally, very personally, myself, I leave everything turned on. I don't care. I'm not that private of a person. If I'm doing an upgrade for a person that I think might be more conscious about these things, I'll turn everything off. Or for normal people who probably aren't even going to use half the features that these things relate to anyway, in that case, then I might leave diagnostic data on just sort of to help Microsoft out in the long run. Maybe make Windows 10 even better. Let's hope. That's the whole point of telemetry, right? But at the end of the day, I just turn everything off and hit accept. Once you hit accept, that's literally it. You are at the Windows 10 desktop. You've got Microsoft Edge. And you'll even start to see things in the bottom right that are no longer available. Those are the programs that are sort of uninstalled by Microsoft because they weren't compatible. But I can go into the system menu and see that Windows 10 is there. It is Windows 10. It is Pro in this case. And one of the other things I like to do is see if Windows is activated. So you can actually type that in the search bar, and you should see, once you open up the activation window, if Windows 10 is activated. And in this case, it says that it is activated with a digital license. So that's it. You're upgraded to Windows 10. Thanks for watching another quick tech tip from NewAngel.net. I'm Garrett, aka NewAngel, N-U-A-N-G-E-L. Over on NewAngel.net, it's just a blog of whatever I feel like talking about. Some days it's motorcycles or video games or technology. If I feel like writing a post, that's what I write about. It's just a side gig, something I do for fun. So thanks for watching. I hope it helped. Until next time, take care of yourself.